Welcome, ladies, to our next little market chat that we're having today. Boy, the landscape of real estate has really changed a lot, and I'm glad that you've come to sit down with me today and discuss just that, the changes that are going on. So Brenda, our managing broker, thank you for joining us, and Jessica of business development and operations, sorry, Jess. And I am Debbie Anderson, marketing director. So why don't we start off, Bryn, with you? What have you been seeing in this ever-changing landscape?
Thank you again for doing this, Deb. It's a great opportunity for us to get together and talk to one another, but as well as trying to provide some education to the general public. So changes. Well, as you know, we work in both New Hampshire and Maine in listing and selling properties. And so initially, I think that the changes were a little more varied between two states, but we have now come together with really listing and selling property. So I get a lot of questions about how can I interact with clients, and can I ask clients about where they've been in, like just identifying if they're contagious or not. So, our first comment would be absolutely, yes, you can. And we want the agents to be safe. We want our clients to be safe, and the customers that we are showing property to who are often our clients. So, the answer is yes, we can ask, like, have they traveled? Are they, have any symptoms such as respiratory, colds, that type of thing. And then, based on their answers, obviously, we decide whether or not we want to continue in the direction of working with them at that point in time. So as long as we ask the questions the same to all of the, to all of the people, we would avoid any housing rules that we are breaking or anything like that. So certainly that's a question we hear all the time. And I think the biggest question that I get asked is, what about showing property? What can we do? What can't we do? And that one really is ever changing, but right at the moment, I think the most important thing is to be sure your sellers are on board with wanting their property shown. And so that's like one of the things that is critical to go to the next step. And then I would say, get your buyers pre-qualified before you go into showing property, just because it just eliminates that step of, if they're not ready to buy at that point, then maybe we do that at another time. Limiting people to the number of people that go in the property is another thing. And again, the biggest thing is following guidelines, providing face masks, gloves. When you go in a property, we should make it a point to either ask the sellers to open cabinet doors if they're there, or we go in ahead of time, turn lights on, and do all of the necessary stuff so that people don't touch anything. So I think that's probably the biggest change. And lastly, I would say the way we market properties is going to be today, and I think our future is more virtual showings, live streaming, doing visual tours and everything. So that would be, I think, probably the biggest thing moving forward. It's going to shape how we show property.
Absolutely. So Jess, from your perspective, how are you able to really communicate with the agents and all of the new things that Brenda just mentioned? Have you had good successes with that?
Yes, we have. I mean, as we all know, communication is key. And as Brenda mentioned, our current landscape, both on a professional and personal level, is continuously changing, and we have to change and adapt with it. So our job, is to effectively communicate these changes and updates and best practices to our agents so that they can in turn effectively communicate these things to their clients. And just as, we internally have had to modify how we communicate with the company, our agents have had to modify how they communicate with their clients and what communication channels they use depending on the information, the objective, and then most importantly, their individual client or person that, they're working with. So internally, we've been using Zoom, as you all know, as our primary communication platform. It's been a lifesaver. And our agents are using Zoom, and they're using FaceTime, and they're using Facebook, and other platforms depending on the preference and the comfort level of their client. One of our agents recently, they were telling me a story about how they were on Facebook Messenger with one of their clients, and they sent a message saying that they want to talk on the phone, and next thing you know that their phone is ringing and they're on a Facebook phone call. So it's all about the client and adapting to whatever that their needs, whatever their wants and their comfort level. And our agents have done an absolutely amazing job, pivoting and modifying the way they do business and communicate based on the individual that they're dealing with. So we do more proud.
Yeah, absolutely. I see from the marketing standpoint that it's been necessary to use technology a little differently than the agents have been used to. And from listing videos and virtual tours to Facebook Live shows and open houses. It's really been amazing how technology has been really embraced by not just us, but by so many other businesses. And, the devices that we're using, everybody's using something different. So you really have to acclimate yourself to using, you're an iPhone user, using things that work for you and for the iPhone using client and the Android using client. And especially for those virtual showings, live Facebook open houses. And so I've been enjoying having a real great training sessions with our agents as we really embrace a lot of these technologies. So
I was going to mention, Debbie, is as you're talking about your role as marketing director, we typically would have thought of that as advertising properties, like placing ads, creating brochures and all of that type of thing. But we don't often think about what goes into each piece and how to educate the agents as to the highest and best use, if you will, is the term that we use in selling real estate, but on each one of them. For instance, on the virtual tours, there are so many different types of virtual showings. And, so the class that I think that you provided to the agents and staff gave a much, much better understanding of why you would use Facebook Live versus why you would do live streaming with someone and, just then a straight video and everything. So I think that that's a really added piece that, to your job, but it helps the general public interact at a different level, which I think is great.
Right. Well, right now with the limited ability to be able to actually go into a property, we are missing a kind of a component that really needs some nurturing, which is actually seeing the property live, asking your agent questions about that fireplace or what kind of countertop or, what's that I'm seeing across the street or, those things that you only really would see if you were there in person. And having the agents be comfortable with these technologies, and not just one or two, but, many of these technologies, because not every buyer is going to be a Facebook user or have an iPhone, or they really need to be well versed in all of these. So it's it's an important part of an agent's way of doing business.
I would agree.
Yeah. Anyway, it certainly is an interesting time we're in, and as we continue from week to week talking, I would love it if some of our viewers gave us some suggestions on things that we could talk about that they'd be interested in hearing. And I'll see you next week.
Well, thank you for having us. Yeah. We'll talk to you again soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.